Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're back with another video. We're going to be watching a 20-minute Position 4 Slark game. You might be thinking that's crazy, that makes no sense, that can't possibly be viable. I assure you it's actually really cool and really good, and it scales. But, as I said, it's only going to be a 20-minute game. I was so impressed. I was just watching some 9 class replays. I think he's just a really impressive support player. I like to take some of his ideas. And yeah, he has 3 Slark games. He won 2 of them. And so yeah, I wanted to cover this one that I watched that was really impressive. Also, take note, he has 21 games of Veno. It's Veno Jungle. I talked to him about Veno Jungle. One of the best, if not the best, Position 4 player in the world, believes in Veno Jungle. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Okay, let's get into the Slark gameplay. On top of that, go sign up to the gameleap website, guys. I'm posting new content over there almost every day, and I'll see you there. So the first thing to talk about is actually the facet. So the facet of Slark that he chooses is not leeching leech, where you get stacks of your essence shift when you pounce on people. It's Dark Renegade, which basically makes it where if you're not near allies, your Barracuda will linger. So basically this is your passive where you get 10 HP regen and bonus movement speed. The reason why this is good is it basically allows you to trade in the lane because you get an extra 15 health, right? Every single time your Barracuda activates. And you get movement speed, so you can stick on top of people, allowing you to use Essence Shift, right? You see the idea here. On top of that, 10 HP regen is really easy to use in the laning stage when you're not actually laning. A big problem with Barracuda for core Slark is that you have to be constantly last hitting. As a result, you can't get out of vision to get this HP regen. If you don't know how it works, well, I kind of just explained it. Essentially, when Slark is out of vision, that includes wards, you get HP regen and movement speed. And so for support Slark, it's really easy to be constantly having 10 HP regen, which for reference, Ring of Tarask, an 1800 gold item, is 12. This passive is 10. And so for the first clip of the laning stage, the big thing here is that Slark is really just good at laning. I mean, the hero trades extremely well because, well, it has decent base stats. We'll talk about that in a second, but more importantly, it just heals after the trades. So he goes on the Chen here. Chen is a hero with incredibly good base stats. It's considered the best Position 5 in the game at the highest level. I'm not kidding, it is. And he trades fine because as the trade goes on, the more and more stacks you build up, the quicker the Position 5 has to back off. And so he gets a good trade. Immediately, if you start backing up to here, you're going to heal. He's up to 20 HP regen with the Tango. 20! And now, if you don't get HP regen here, you know there's a heal ward. So you get a free D ward. And so warding against Slark is a nightmare. And you're going to see that throughout the game. It is a nightmare. Slark is the best D warder in the game by far. Why? Because he knows if there's a ward, and he has 3 disengage abilities. So if he goes to D ward, he can actually get out. But alright, getting back to the lane, yeah, essentially you kind of just sit in the trees. You obviously block the small camp, and you look to trade the Position 5 as much as possible. And so you'll see he's healing, right? He's got the Barracuda regen, and when the Chen actually gets vision of him, it will linger a bit. And this is nice because it allows him to continue to close the gap, right, with that bonus movement speed. He has a Windlace, 3 branches, and tangos, by the way, for starting items. But yeah, as I was saying, it lingers a bit, and that allows you to close the gap. It makes a big, big difference. So yeah, Chen is a pretty hard hero to trade. To be fair, Chen does not have an attack speed slow, which is probably one of the better answers to Slark. Something like Frostbite or Lich Q, you know, are going to give Slark a bit of trouble, but nothing is that bad. As I said, this hero is just a solid laner because with Windlace, you're pretty fast, you have high damage, but most importantly, you just have incredible regen. And this is mainly what just allows Slark to play. You just want to make sure that this hill is dewarded, and once it is, you can continue to use the tree line to mess with people and waste their time. Right? He's just healing way too much, like way too much. And again, this is Chen, right? Chen is like the best trading 5 in the game. It is the best, right? Like bar none. I don't think there's even a close second. And so it's a tough lane, but he's doing fine. For items, he's got his boots, he's got his blood grenade, and I love his gameplay here. Look at this ward. So he's got a lane ward. He placed that earlier, which we saw. And he bounces for the courier, denying the tangos and the ward of the Chen. And this is really high impact, guys. I mentioned it in an earlier video of mine. I think it was the hot takes video, but how good courier snipes actually are, and especially for high mobility heroes like Slark. 386 movement speed is like insanely easy to snipe couriers because you one-shot them. As he comes back to the lane, looking to trade a little bit, but again, it's a little hard. Right? He does okay. Again, he heals way more than the Chen will. He's gonna probably kill this and try to pounce away. Yep, oof. Almost got scouted. Snipes another courier. There goes the treads of the gyro. And by the time he comes back, like, look, one tango and a bit of Barracuda, he's back to half health and he's ready to trade again. And so the hero is just solid. Yes, you have to be very good about trade high, trade high, trade high. You do have to be good about it. If you're not super cognizant about this type of thing, you're not gonna have a good time, right? So you gotta be good, but man, is it strong. So I would say the main weakness of the hero is kind of around this 5 to 10 minute timing. You have to be very creative with your gameplay. And talking about creative, look what he's doing here. He knows that they're gonna try to dodge the courier snipe. And so look at his positioning. I mean, this is just insane. Full treads. Oh, he sniped full treads. Oh my gosh. I mean, that is so, I don't know. It's so cool. Like, that positioning there was insanely next level. Insanely next level. Now he comes mid, and it's very simple. You come mid and you walk to here. If they see you, there's a hill ward here or here, right? And you just place the sentry on the hill and you're gonna see it. If they don't see you, you can check this hill by moving like further forward. This is something you have to feel out. It's just something you have to learn. Like, you'll see an example of it upcoming in a moment, where now he's gonna stand here, checks the ward, so now he knows there's no ward mid, and it expires here, right? So once this ticks with this facet, you know that you're in vision. And so you're gonna be thinking a couple things. Okay, is it here? Probably not, because then he would have lost it here. So you have to think, okay, it's a bit farther up, right? It's a bit farther up. I think he lost it for a moment actually on the side. So yeah, oh, he lost it here. So immediately you have to think like, it's in some really weird spot. It's not, I guess it could be here, right? So it could be on the hill. Could be, I mean, no, it wouldn't have been there. And he starts doing this kind of like walk around jig where it's like, do they see me? But they don't see him on the hill. And so now he knows, okay, it has to be upwards. And look at this D ward. Boom. And so if you get good at it, you know where wards are. You have essentially a gem on this hero. As now he comes top, snipes a kill. The main thing you want to do in this hero, there's a couple things. You want to contest bounty runes, power runes, couriers, and wisdom runes. Like, this is the best thing you can do. And he comes, oh, this is so good. I mean, it's bad from the Sand King, to be fair. But, like, I get it. Oh my god, it gets worse. It gets worse. Oh, the deny. Oh, no. I mean, this is what it takes. If you want to know what it takes to be ranked 30 as a pause 4 player, you have to be able to have this much impact as Slark. Trading a Chen, which is, again, not easy. Doing pretty well against Chen. Sniping treads twice, basically. Finding multiple wards. And stealing a wisdom rune while getting it denied is insanely good. But yeah, at this point, he's kind of roaming across the map. Your hero is really good at bodying ganks. So you're super good at kind of just moving around the map. Finds the hill ward. This is the easiest one in the game. If you walk into this tree line and they somehow see you, well, there's a hill ward, and now he gets rid of one of the best wards in the game. That's nice in terms of items. Finishes wand. Raindrops are really overpowered, so you have mana, so I'd buy raindrops and belt of strength. You just want HP so you can frontline. The main value of the hero is tanking spells and then resetting your HP. As he gets onto the gyro here, you do not deal a ton of damage. This is why the strategy is difficult. If the game is just a ton of random teamfights, you will not have impact. You are not good in teamfights. That is the downside. I do believe the strategy is better the higher you go. And so obviously this is not going to be the best pub strategy. You're better off in most games to be straightforward, picking Bounty Hunter to be blood. But this is definitely cool. So at this point, as I said, the raindrops are really, really good. I would like to see him have them because he's popping clarities. You know, you do need the mana on this hero, even on core. I mean, on core, you need even more. But yeah, you want to always have 2 sentries. He only has 1 here, but you do want to try to have 2. If he's scouting some stacks, it's really nice for him to just kind of sap XP here as he does get scouted. This was a bit aggressive. So he trades the Chen a little bit here. It doesn't do too much. Like, don't think like, oh, kind of building stacks as that value is commits in. Little aggressive, but wow, actually, I mean, the fact that this play works is insane. I mean, this guy's situational awareness and just, well, intuition, I should say, is insane. Like, I don't know how he knew this would play out exactly like this, but I mean, it did, and they find a nice kill. Probably should have kept hiding there. And now you have your ulti, and this hero becomes ridiculous because you can't die. I mean, well, okay, you can. But if you don't use pounce, you basically can't die. So the key is to not waste pounce, right? And we'll see that in a couple of clips. He's going to buy another sentry, farming up mid here. Kind of another nice thing about Slark is that you can clear waves. So you're a support that can farm. And this is very valuable in Dota. There are so many camps on the map. There are so many camps and so many waves. And so it's valuable to have a farming ability, and that's why he's maxing it. You might be like, oh, I'm gonna max pounds so I can leash people more. No, you want the ability to push waves, to reset health, and even just to kill people. As we see him go onto the Sand King here, pops the Q, gets the kill, very nice. Queuing up the drums, and why drums? Well, the stats are incredible, the movement speed is incredible, and then the active is just kind of broken, right? It's just one of the best actives in the game, so drums, definitely sort of a no-brainer on Slark. For sure. But yeah, what's really nice at this point of the game is in terms of neutral item, you can take anything, right? Definitely, if you need mana, you can take mana. If you just want an HP pool, you can take that. You can take damage. It's probably not what I would recommend. I would recommend Royal Jelly, Siege of Serenity, Bubble, Arcane Ring, kind of any of these sustain items so you can just stick on the map. And look what he's doing, right? He's just moving back and forth, and he's having so much impact by just kind of moving around the map. I mean, he's walking under the tier 1 into their jungle, looking for the ward, finds it, because again, he just knows it's there due to his facet. Comes top, scouts the snap, makes a crazy dive. I mean, like, what is this? That is a ridiculous dive. Ridiculous. And he's chilling, right? He's chilling. I mean, he had his ult, 74 regen. Once you skill your ulti, you get, I believe it's 70, right? Yeah, 70 regen and 24% movement speed. So you can start to just roam the map and scout everything. And you can waste people's time. Like right here, they're not killing this Sand King, but he's kicking him out of the jungle. Sand King doesn't want to fight him one-on-one because Slark's pretty good one-on-one. Commits the pounce. I really don't recommend this. This is super a misplay. The thing is, it doesn't give you any E stacks. So there's no real reason for him to root this guy here. You might be like, oh, keep him in the calling. He did it before the calling, and even then, like, this guy already used his stun. There's really no point. You want to save the pounce almost strictly to disengage. I know that sounds crazy. You can use it to root people in place, of course, and let your team close the gap, but in general, it should be a reset tool, right? You should be going in with the bonus movement speed from Barracuda. That's going to let you close the gap, and then you reset with pounce. It's a long cooldown. You can't really use it to go in. You will die. Another thing, I think for the next item, I think Orb of Corrosion is the best item. It allows you to kind of just mess with people and stick on top of people. It gives you armor, which you want, attack speed, and then regen reduction, as well as the slow. So you don't have to use pounce if you have oof. So I would like to see an oof here. I think Corrosion Shreds is the way to go, and you sit on Strength Tread so you have health. Fight breaks out, goes in with the Q, finishes off the gyro, and look how he saved the pounce there. Notice how he oh my god, he almost died to the range creep. So for his next item, he queues up Mage Slayer. This hero tends to die to magic damage. I think that's fine. I mean, there's like a lot of items you can buy at this point of the game. I personally think that the best angle, as I was mentioning, is like Corrosion into Shard. Your Shard is one of the best in the game. It did get nerfed, but it's still just incredible. If you don't know what it is, it's your ulti, but you can put it on the ground. On a 75-second cooldown, you can hide you and your allies in Shadow Dance. So it's like a save. For instance, against like Axis game, someone gets called, you just put them in the cloud, and they're probably fine. It also gives them the regen, so it's really, really good. In terms of skill build, I like what he has here. I think the second point in Essence Shift is worth it. 20 to 40, it's a double, it makes a big difference. And then you max your W, so you can kite in and out a little bit better. But yeah, the nice thing about this Slark build is that, and I do like the Mage Slayer eventually, just so you're tanky and have attack speed, as well as mana. It's like the perfect Slark item. You could also go Diffusal if you want to be greedier, but I think Mage Slayer, so you're tanky, is the way to go. Again, you just want to be tanky so you can frontline. The main value of Slark support is that he can give vision and frontline, right? You're going to initiate the fight, get gone on, and then get out. And you're going to soak spells. And that's really, really valuable. And so you want health to be able to do that reliably and multiple times, right? So don't be greedy with items, right? If you're not buying Belt of Strength raindrops, I think you're making a big mistake. I mean, he didn't buy raindrops, but I think this is the angle, and he probably would buy raindrops. Yeah, at this point, maxing the pounce, got his drums, popping smokes, buying support items, and you're buying a ton of sentries as well. And the nice thing is that you're saving your +5 a lot of gold as well, right? Because you're buying a lot of the sentries. And because the sentry wards are so reliable, you don't have to just place a ton of sentries for wards you're just not finding. You know what I mean? You're going to find the wards. And so every sentry is basically bonus gold that you're buying, as long as you're decent at using them, because you get 120 gold for killing a ward. You know, it's more than double your money back. But yeah, at this point, pretty straightforward gameplay. He can farm. I mean, frankly, you can farm. Once you have max Q, if nothing's happening, you can farm. I don't recommend it. I think the main priority of this hero in the game should be to give vision and deward, right? And tank ganks. Basically, show heroes for your team. It's really, really nice. But okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. They do end up winning this game in a minute as he kicks out the Chen who is jungling the back camps. You're really good at hunting heroes from behind when when they're behind. But yeah, they go end here. He's got his Mage Slayer. In terms of talents, he skips the 10. At 15, you take Barracuda Regen. At 20, you take Agility Gain Stolen per Essence Shift. At 25, this one's a little bit tough. I think both are good. At level 25, you should be scaling. You should have like Mage Slayer, Sanjin Yasha at this point, and maybe even another item. And so you should take Essence Shift Duration and really try to scale. But yeah, in terms of next item, I really like Sanjin Yasha. You should have your Shard, so you should definitely buy Shard next item. I think it's a big mistake to buy anything else. As is he winning this? Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out.